by defending it in the House, is not that already a trial? Because let's say you cite a person in contempt, di i-detain nyo, ipapakulong nyo. Hindi ba trabaho na yan sa actual impeachment trial?
Nako.
Parang you are really acting like a court.
Aray ko.
That's my question. If you go this way, I have another question. Okay,
What are we
but
supposed to
ma'am,
do?
but ma'am, isn't this also an opportunity for grandstanding?
Aray ko. Yari. Yari. Nako, dyan ho tayo nagkakaproblema. Hindi na ho kasi trabaho ng Justice Committee ang magpatawag ng kung sino-sino dyan sa hearing nila na yan. Kaya ako nasusupal-pal itong si Jinky Luistro dito kay Ma'am Karen Davila. Pero bago yan, isang like at isang subscribe. Masaya na ho tayo dyan at sa mga gusto sumali sa ating community, yung joint button na dyan lang ho sa baba. Eto na ho mga kababayan, diretso na ho tayo kay Jinky Luistro. Interview ho niya kay Ma'am Karen Davila. Good.
Listeners ng ating programa.
All right, let's make this an opportunity to make the public understand, no? Sinabi ng defense team, unconstitutional na po ang ginagawa ng
Yeah.
House Committee on Justice na meron kayong quote-unquote mini trial. All right? So let's talk about this. Under the Constitution, what we know of is the House Committee should decide if an impeachment complaint is sufficient in form and substance. Nagawa nyo na po yun. Ito merong sufficiency in grounds. Ngayon lang po natin ito nakikita kasi yung dating sistema, botohan lahat ng 1/3. Okay? Are you going beyond the mandate of the House Committee on Justice?
No. Doon sa binanggit mong provisions ng ng Constitution, meron din dyan sinabi that the House of Representatives is granted with the power to promulgate rules on impeachment, no? And that is the rules which the House of Representatives adopted even in the past impeachment processes. This is the same impeachment rule also which was used in the 19th Congress. And since now is the 20th Congress, in the resumption of the 19th Congress, of the 20th Congress, inadapt yan, nagkaroon ng formality sa plenary that the 20th Congress is adopting the 19th Congress rules of impeachment. Hindi po ito bago. Hindi po ito labas sa konstitusyon. Ito po'y ayon sa kapangyarihang ipinagkaloob ng saligang batas sa mababang kapulungan na maglatag ng rules of impeachment na ginagamit na sa mga nagdaang proseso.
Noong 19th Congress lang, madam. Noong 19th Congress lang, hindi nagdaang proseso. Noong naunang impeachment lang kay VP Sara. Diyan tayo nagkakandaloko-loko eh.
Ginamit din sa 19th Congress at inadopt ng 20th Congress. So,
Isang bagay na malinaw is the House can actually make their own rules when it comes to the hearing the impeachment complaint. Tama po yun.
tama yun. At yan ay maliwanag sa ating Article 11 dito sa accountability, which addresses the provisions on impeachment. Pinagkalooban ng saligang batas ng kapangyarihan ang House of Representatives na gumawa, maglatag ng rules of impeachment to realize the impeachment process which was pronounced in the Constitution as well.
Okay. So technically speaking, you are evaluating if the impeachment complaints have probable.
Yun ang problema natin. Sila naglalatag ng rules. Kaya pagka linatag nila ang rules, pwede na binigyan nila ng kapangyarihan ng Justice Committee na magpatawag ng kung sino-sino at pwedeng magmukhang hearing ang ginagawa nila na yan, na kung saan dapat lamang ay nag-hearing dyan sa mga usapin na yan sa Senado, pwede ho nilang gawin dahil sila gumagawa ng rules. Pantakin nyo ho mga kababayan, ganito ho katindi yan. Sila nagagawa ng rules, sila nadidesisyon, anak ng toko, sila pa ang, tawag dito, sila pa ang naglalatag ng mga testigo at ebidensya laban kay VP Sara. Palakpakan nyo na. Alam mo, di ba? Sila lahat, sila rules. Sila maglalatag ng ebidensya kasi kasama nila dapat merong isa mag-i-endorse ng di ba? Paano pagkapakawala yan ng mga kalaban ni VP Sara kagaya ni Martin Romualdez at yun talaga lumalabas. Pakawala talaga ni Martin Romualdez yung impeachment na yan.
parang piskal, parang ganun po yan.
That
But
is correct.
but are some of your colleagues going overboard?
Nako.
For example, I mean, you have Representative Rufus Rodriguez already commenting on the credibility or non-credibility of a possible witness, of calling a witness, let's say, tainted or untainted. Then you are already, nagsasabina na po kayo ng what may be considered as possible evidence that could be used in the impeachment trial. We have never seen this before. Is this already going beyond the bounds of what the House Committee on Justice should be doing?
This is not beyond the bounds of what the Justice Committee is supposed to do. We are simply following our rules of impeachment. And it is very clear under Section 7 that after the determination of sufficiency in grounds, we shall proceed to our hearing proper. Hearing proper is the exact terminology that was used in the rules of impeachment. It was stated there that the compulsory processes may be exercised for the purpose of issuing subpoena duces tecum, that is for documents, subpoena ad testificandum, that is to compel the attendance of the witnesses, and it even made mention na yung pagtatanong, examination in clause, this will be done by the justice members, even saying that the chair or the presiding officer can limit, manage, regulate the time of the justice members in raising questions. No? So, eto pagka inanalyze mo to, Karen, all of this are processes akin to a preliminary investigation. Tama ka sa sinabi mo kanina. And the most significant part of that is the purpose of this clarificatory hearing really is only to determine probable cause. And the definition of probable cause is justification to be able to proceed to trial. We cannot compare this to, I mean, if you compare this to the proceeding in the Senate, yun talaga yung actual trial, the purpose of which is to determine the guilt and the innocence, and after which, if found guilty, it will be the implementation of the necessary penalties. No, while I use the term mini trial,
Oo. Do you believe now that you used, I mean, now that we're having this discussion, frankly speaking, do you believe that it was a mistake to use mini trial?
I don't think so.
Yan.
Because it
Yan ang problema. Ipagpilitan mo pa, madam. Lalo lang titindi ang depensa pagka ginagawa mo yan. Pagpatuloy mo yan. Wala kang pagkakamali nung sinabi mo, lumabas sa bunganga mo yung mga katagang mini trial.
it was intended to make a clear distinction between what the people are watching in TV with respect to the trial that is happening in the Senate. Because how else will you explain that to the ordinary people? Ang nakatatak sa isip ng tao ay yung trial ni President Estrada, trial ni Chief Justice Corona, because they've seen this in televisions. And in my effort to reach out to the grassroots, because after all, this impeachment process is an extraordinary power that was given to the Filipino people. I use mini trial to make them understand, ito pala maliit na proseso compared doon sa nangyayari sa Senado, which is the real trial, no?
Oh, but this is not a trial. That's the problem. What you are doing is not a trial.
Yeah.
Right? I mean,
That's correct.
a trial determines guilt or innocence. So technically, the word trial is wrong.
Yan.
Perhaps it is misplaced, but it has reference to a structured process of investigating and giving opportunity to both parties to present the respective evidence, no?
Pilit.
Kasi
Ipagpilitan mo lang, madam.
could have just used
yung bagay na sinasabi mo na marinig, na ganito, alam ko ano lang dyan eh. makikitaan ng sufisyente doon sa mga hinahanap ng impeachment ng meron ba talagang ebidensya? Hindi yung para sagutin, yung pagsagot. Pagkakumbinsido ang mga congressman na talagang ka-impeach si BP Sara, pagbutuhan nyo na. Yung pagdepensa, pagsagot ng magkabilang grupo, yung nagsasabi kay BP Sara, pinaparatangan siya ng kung ano-ano, di ba? At yung depensa ni BP Sara, sa Senado natin maririnig yan kung ano yan. Ang nangyayari, parang gusto nyong tanggalan ng salawalang depensa dyan pa lang sa Justice Committee. Kasi mahirapan talaga sila. Pagdating sa impeachment court, ibang usapan yun. Hindi makakapagsiga-sigaan si Luis Rodon.
Probable cause hearing.
Do you think that is
Another
that is
term.
do you think that the preliminary investigation thing, the clarificatory hearing thing, what did you say? The probable cause thing.
Probable cause hearing. Oo.
Are this easily understandable to the grassroots, the ordinary Filipino people? I think
Kasi ang mini trial can have legal implications. That's why tinanong ng reporter, will you take this to the Supreme Court? So baka sumabit ulit kayo. 'Di ba? Yun ang tanong.
We cannot stop them from bringing any state.
Yun nga ang problema. Kung hindi kayo gumagamit ng mga ganong klaseng salita, hindi magkakaroon ng pagkakataon ng depensa na magpunta kung saan-saan para questionin yung mga ginagawa niyong proseso. Yun ang hindi mo maintindihan, Jinky Luistro. Tinutulungan na nga kayo. Kung tanungin natin yan si Karen Davila, sagot niya sigurado, impeach din si BP Sara. Di ba? Kasi dilawan-pinklawan yan. Hanggat maaari, kung pwede, ang maupo, kaalyado nila. At sa ginagawa nyo na yan, talagang ang dating nagbebenepisyo din yung mga pinklawan at dilawan. Diyan sa akbang na ginagawa na ng administrasyon ni Marcos Jr. Ngayon tinutulungan na kayo, ayaw nyo pa. Ano yung...
Any nomenclature, any proceeding, any step that we are doing in the Justice Committee to the Supreme Court, because that is their prerogative, that is their right. However, Karen, even assuming that the term mini trial is misplaced, is it correct to bring that mini trial to the petition, by way of petition to the Supreme Court, when in fact what is happening in the Justice Committee is a clarificatory hearing? I've said this in the hearing yesterday. I said that the proceeding should be judged not on the basis of the name, not on the basis of the nomenclature, not on the basis of the label. The proceeding should be judged on the basis of the actions that the Justice Committee do during the proceeding in the hearing proper, quote unquote.
Okay, so let's call it a clarificatory hearing, no? Para sa akin kasi malinaw na it's looking for probable cause. So let's go to this. You have issued, you took a vote, right? Humingi ng boto at nagpasabina kayo. You're gonna issue subpoenas. Let's talk about the subpoena to one of Vice President Duterte's lawyers, Attorney Michael Poa. All right?
Yan.
Sinagot nila that they did answer. One, for whatever reason, they did reply, right? They did reply. The non-reply is their interpretation is a response. So that's number one. The Vice President not attending the hearing, they may have a point and say, what makes that any different? Si former President Estrada, hindi naman nag-attend. Si Corona, si Gutierrez, ang dami, hindi naman nag-attend sa any House hearing, right? Kumbaga, it was brought directly to the Senate. So they may argue that's not a form of disrespect because they did reply, right? That is not a trial. So when you call Attorney Poa, what does the House expect from him? Why do you want him there?
Well, from the point of view of the justice members, most especially the proponent, it was Congressman Tino, right? He believes that Attorney Poa, as then COS of DepEd ba yun or OVP,
Yeah.
played a significant part, even if not through the document, but by action in the utilization, alleged misuse of confidential fund, no? At alam mo, Karina, one thing, sorry,
Karen.
alam mo, Karen,
It's okay,
sorry.
no problem.
One thing that we must
Matataranta si Bakula. Huwag ka mataranta. Ito naman si Jinky. Huwag ka mataranta. Kalmahan mo lang. Ano na, kapanalig mo yan. Kapanalig mo yan. Huwag ka mataranta.
understand here, the committee is a collegial body. All decisions are done by way of majority vote.
Lagi hong binibida yung majority vote na yan, collegial. Ang problema nga, majority sa miyembro ng Committee on Justice tumanggap ng maleta. Tumanggap ng envelope. Galit kay VP Sara. May hugot kay VP. Diba? Kaya kung ano man pagbobotohan dyan, pagbotohan natin na ipatawag itong si Attorney Michael Poa, natural, ipatawag yan. Isumpi na natin yung kanyang salin dyan sa ombudsman. Isusumpi na yan. Bakit? Karamihan, di umano tumanggap ng maleta eh. Nasa ano sila nasa nasa listahan ng mga Marines. Nasa interest nila na ma-impeach si VP Sara. Doon pa lang, kahit nasabihin mong collegial, kahit sabihin mong majority, yang pagboto dyan. Diba? Yun nga problema. Majority sa inyo dyan, di umano tumanggap ng maleta at envelope.
So,
Okay.
since ganito yan eh.
But Representative, etong tanong. So Attorney Poa goes there. I'll give you a scenario.
Yan.
He refuses to answer questions. He'll say, I don't believe that this is the forum.
Yan.
Right?
Oh.
Let's say hypothetically. You have to remember, they have a defense strategy. I mean, I don't know what it is, but what if Michael Poa will be used as a witness in the trial proper? Because you yourself said he was in a position then, right? During that time, he knows where the funds were spent. So he may not be one of the lawyers in the hearing, in the trial proper, but they could use him as a witness. We don't know that. But by bringing him there, sasabihin ng kasamahan mo, we will cite you in contempt for not responding. So that's when this gets blurry. He can choose not to respond. He can choose not to cooperate because it could be a part of the strategy. This is why ang tanong ko, what is the role of the members? You know, he can choose
Members
not to
are
answer.
the members
Yeah,
are
but
the
you know what? A
investigators.
person can choose not to respond.
Yan.
It is within the right of any person to choose not to respond because
Yan.
that is not a trial. Kaya yan yung tanong ko eh. Aren't you already crossing the line at this point by you're actually, ang pinapasabihan nyo are probable evidence, ha?
Naku, yan ang problema. Ang issue kasi dito mga kababayan, ang nasa utak nito mga aso ni Tambalusos na to, mapapaikot-ikot nila, mabubola-bola nila sa bayan ng Pilipino. Ano na nga, devil's advocate na yan si Karen Davila, di ba? Kumbaga, sige, bibigyan ko na kayo ng worst case scenario, ganito paano na yan? Ano gagawin natin yan? Magmumukha na naman kasi kayong tanga.
Nandun na kayo eh. So, yan ang tanong ko. Okay, what if Attorney Poa refuses to respond?
Nako.
Can you cite him in contempt?
Nako.
That's a basic question. Can you...
He has to cite the ground for refusing to
Okay,
respond.
so a
No?
possible response, Mr. Chair, I cannot respond because this will
Mukha talaga lalaki itong si Bakul. Hindi ko masisi itong si Ma'am Karen Davila. Sa totoo lang, ako talaga inalalabuan kung babae ba o lalaki itong si Jinky Luistro. Kung atin titignan, mukha naman siyang mukha siya lalaki talaga. Kaya
be part of the evidence in the upcoming trial. By responding, we will be handing out our strategy. As a team, we have decided not to respond in this hearing. O paano kayo ngayon?
Because they are not recognizing the constitutionality of
Not
the
necessarily.
proceeding. Is that the
They
reason?
can say, we recognize this, but I am limited. I cannot give out details. O
Well,
paano yun?
it will depend on the members of the Justice Committee. May rules tayo. Inciting
But how far can you go?
resource
Yan ang
persons
tanong.
in contempt, no? It
Okay.
will depend on how the justice members will be reacting to the failure or refusal of the resource person or the witness to respond.
Because let's say you cite a person in contempt, di i-detain nyo, ipapakulong nyo. Hindi ba trabaho na yan sa actual impeachment trial?
Nako.
Parang you are really acting like a court.
Aray ko.
That's my question. If you go this way, I have
Oh.
another question.
Yan ang problema, Jinke. Oh, paano na yan? Anong gagawin natin yan?
You bring in the SAL-N of the Vice President,
Oh, yan.
right? That Representative Redon says increased by 100-fold. I'm reading it right now, okay? Which is fair, okay, that her SAL-N increased from 2007 to 2005, I believe. Yun ang contention. Okay. The SAL-N in itself is not a crime, right? But she has to defend how her SAL-N increased. O eto tanong ko, ma'am. By defending it in the House, is not that already a trial?
Aray ko. Ano na, Jinke? Sakit mo sa ulo, Jinke. Kung ano-ano kasi mga pinaggagawa niyo dyan eh.
He is part of the investigators and it is incumbent upon him to know the truth behind his allegations. It could be belying the allegation in the complaint. It could be proving the allegation in the complaint. So itong mga searching questions, no, which will be raised on the basis of the
Because-
SAL-N by
because let's
Congressman
say-
Redon will have no certainty yet as to
Nako, hindi nag-i-stick to the plan ito si Ma'am Karen Davila. Nag-o-overload yung utak ni Baculaw. Nahihirapan na ho siya sumagot sa mga...
its result, di ba?
Bira.
So, what is being done here really, or what will be done by the investigators or the justice members are to raise questions, to investigate whether there is basis really enough to constitute probable cause in the allegations in the complaint. Remember, Karen, na-declare siyang sufficient in form, na-declare siyang sufficient in substance, na-declare din siyang sufficient in ground. Under the rules,
So
and
why
even
not send
under
it to a vote already?
Yan.
It's already been declared sufficient in
Because
grounds.
it is in the
Why not
rules.
send it to a vote? That's the
Because
question.
it's in the rules.
Because
And the
then
rules
you have...
provide for a hearing proper.
Okay,
What are we
but
supposed to
ma'am,
do?
but ma'am, isn't this also an opportunity for grandstanding?
Aray ko! Yari! Yari! Opportunity for grandstanding at yan nga ang ginagawa nila. Nanonostra nitong si Karen Davila kung ano ginagawa nila dyan.
To actually
No.
elongate the hearing. You know,
No.
instead of the vice president having her day in court in the Senate. And frankly speaking, I'm being objective here. These are legitimate academic questions that are now being taken up by law students if the House Justice Committee is going overboard.
Aray ko.
Yun yung tanong in classes today.
How can we be overboard if what we're doing are all in the rules of impeachment
Na
which
kayo nga ang gumawa, anak na to ko. Niloloko mo kami. Oy, ito talaga si Baculaw. Na kayo din ang gumawa. Binabanggit mo ng binabanggit ang rules. Yung rules na yan, conveniente sa inyo. Diba kayo ang gumawa?
which has been the rules since the past impeachment processes, no?
Past impeachment, kay VP Sara din.
And how can we do away with this process when it is provided under the rules that we're supposed to conduct a hearing proper, to issue subpoena, to question the witnesses for us to be able to be guided?
Talagang fishing expedition ho talaga. Fishing expedition
Kung
ho
may
talaga ito.
probable cause ba o wala.
Oh.
I was discussing this with the justice members yesterday. Anong sabi ng mga justice members? Kung hindi tayo mag-hearing proper, kung walang presentation ng evidence,
Wala
kung walang
ebidensya.
issuance ng subpoena, how else are we going to determine the existence or non-existence of probable cause? And no way that we will be deviating from the rules, because we are really, admittedly, being very cautious after what happened in the first impeachment. I think the justice members are all very careful to make sure that we follow strictly what are provided in the rules. Ang sabi ko before, dun sa one of our hearings to Paulo Marcoleta, everything that I am saying is in accordance in the rules. Well, at least in
Rules
as
nga.
far,
Ang rules nga na kayo din ang gumawa. Ang rules nga na kung saan pinapahintulutan na dyan pa lang sa House of Representatives, madigdik na si VP Sara. Di ba? Ma-scrutinize na yung kanyang mga depensa. Di ba? Na kung saan na yung rules na yon, wala na sa hulog kung ang pinag-uusapan ang impeachment talaga. Ang pinag-usapan, sa Senado maglalatagan ng depensa, maglalatagan ng ebidensya, hindi dyan sa Justice Committee. Lang yan.
as what is happening in the
Ulit ma.
justice proceeding is concerned, no?
Yes. I think that one is clear. You have really shown that yourself. You have been cautious. You have been extra careful, right?
Correct.
Okay, with you yourself as chair in how you are handling it, I don't think that's a question because it's a live coverage. We're all seeing it. But here's a good one for you. So let's say the SALN is Sabina. Dumating ang SALN. Tatanungin nila, please explain why the Vice President's assets has increased in the last so and so years. Basic question, right? Where did the Vice President get her income, her wealth? Sasagutin kayo. Madam Chair, we will present the proof of the Vice President's increase in income when we reach the trial proper.
Well,
Ano
again,
ba
it will depend on the justice members how they will react to that answer of the witnesses. But I think it's only the Vice President who can answer really in matters concerning the SALN, no? Kasi siya lang naman ang may personal knowledge dun sa SALN eh. If
Natural, kung ako abogado ni VP Sara, i-check natin yan. Baka, di ba, hindi lang yung personal knowledge, pinakita na ni VP Sara yan. Anak ng toko, ba't kumuha ka pa ng abogado kung ikaw din pala sasagot? Di ba, sa dami ng mga ano na yan, baka, di ba, kaya nga kumuha ng abogado para pag-aralan yung kanyang yung mga kabalbalan na inaakusa niyo sa kanya, tapos gusto niyo siya lang sasagot, hindi na maaari.
she will continue not to appear in the justice hearing, I don't think that the members will have the opportunity even to ask that question. It cannot be asked from the other witnesses because it is the Vice President who files the SALN. So she and only her has the personal knowledge about the preparation of that SALN.
Okay, Madriaga, of course, you have made sure there was a vote that Madriaga be called, right, to the House hearing. And Representative Shell Jokno actually made it clear that he was worried already for his safety, right? And you said you would guarantee that safety, which is quite fair. So when Madriaga arrives, right, and he is questioned, so I can imagine how hearings go. Tatanungin, anong alam mo? May personal knowledge ka ba dito? Etc. Right? So he would obviously state what he would claim to know or what he knows. The question is this. The team of the Vice President, are they allowed? They're not allowed to correct him, right?
You're asking about
Let's say Madriaga speaks and says, nakita ko ginawa to ni Vice President.
We can-
Halimbawa lang po to.
Yeah,
Pinapatay niya to, ginawa niya to, inutos niya to. So he's speaking. Can the defense team, what can they do? Because obviously you will ask these questions. None of us will know if he's speaking the truth or not until it reaches a trial proper. And the senators will ask, as judges, can cross-examine him. Kasi are you allowed to cross-examine in the House
with all due
Justice Committee?
respect,
Oo.
Garrido, perhaps it is a special skill of an investigator or even a senator judge to know really whether the person is speaking the truth or otherwise. No, so I think it is quite unfair to say that the only time when we will know when he is really speaking the truth is pagdating ng trial. Because
Kasi doon may cross-examine siya. Diyan kasi kayo lang pwede magtanong. Yung kampo ni VP Sara hindi pwede mag-cross-examine. Kahit sino, kahit yung nagtataho sa labas, pinaharap ni Jan, sinabi ni VP Sara, inutusan akong ganito ganyan, wala na. Diba? Ako yung hinire ni VP Sara, yung magtataho na walang kamalay-malay. Diba? Hindi naman siya pwedeng kumprontahin ni VP Sara kasi kayo lang mayroong karapatang magtanong. Ang sinasabi lang dito ni Karen Davila, walang fairness. Diba? Masyadong sketchy ang mga kabalbalan nyo dyan sa Committee on Justice. Dali natin sa Senado, doon mag-usap-usap.
we cannot tell if this congressman in the Justice Committee have that special skills, no, similar to a well-versed prosecutor, that he can really tell this man is telling the truth, this man is telling a lie. No, it depends on the person raising the questions. It's actually a special skill that is distinct to the members of the Justice Committee. I cannot tell that all of them have that kind of skills, but at least whatever will happen in the presentation of Madriaga will help them decide about the existence or non-existence of probable cause. And let us also consider the fact na itong probable cause naman, this is not guilt beyond reasonable doubt. This is not substantial evidence. This is not preponderance of evidence. Ang sabi sa mga decisions on impeachment, by probable cause in the impeachment process, it only means justification to proceed to trial. No?
I think we are one with that. That's why many are asking, why not just proceed to trial? Even the defense team of Vice President Sara Duterte is asking that. Bakit pinapahaba? Sufficient
Remember,
informed. Kasi sufficient na informed, substance, and in grounds. Ano pang dahilan para hindi yun magka-probable cause? Kayo na mismo ang bumoto
Kaya
na
nga.
sufficient na may
Oo.
grounds.
Kaya nga,
So
oo.
ano pa ang ang tanong nila, ano pang hinahanap nila? Sila na nga mismo bumoto na sufficient na to in grounds.
Okay, let me explain that.
Oh.
When we conducted
Nako, nag-overload yung utak ni Jinky Luistro. Mahirap po ito. Mahirap tong pinasok na to ni Jinky Luistro pero nasa interest din ho niya kasi na mapahiya si BP Sara, ma-impeach si BP Sara, makapangalap ng ebidensya. Ito na yung final hura nila eh. Wala nang take to. Nakaisa na sila. Ngayon sa 2027, wala na. Anong impeachment pa? Wala na impeachment noon. Tapos na ho. Busy na lahat noon. Nangangampanya na. Kaya itong isa na to, pagka hindi nila naayos, ito si Jinky Luistro, yung ginawa mo sa asawa mo, noong pinaghahanap siya, malamang sa malamang, dahil yan ang libangan mo, baka hindi na ho natin makita tong alin. Baka magtatago na ho ito.
our hearing on the determination of sufficiency in form, what we are trying
Bakit nakulong ako? Sabihin mo nun na Luistro, dahil ni Speaker.
to see is whether my verification, under oath of verification, my accompanying resolution ang House member at under oath of resolution. That's the parameter. Pagdating sa sufficiency in substance, we are supposed to confine the determination to the complaint and its attachment. The parameter is whether the recital of facts constitute an offense determinative of the jurisdiction of the Justice Committee. No? So it's the complaint that is the basis. Pagdating ng ground, we are supposed to evaluate the responsive pleadings. No? Pag sinabi natin responsive pleadings, you have to read and study the answer. If this is responsive to the allegations of the offenses and grounds, nasagot ba ng answer ng Vice President ang mga aligasyon tuon sa complaint? Apart from this answer, we're supposed to study and evaluate as well the reply, which is the answer to the answer and the rejoinder, which is the answer to the reply. However, natapos na nga sa answer. Kasi nag-waive na ang ating complainant because ang sabi nila, wala naman palang sagot yung answer, so we will not be filing a reply. In other words, dito sa ground, hindi lang tayo nakakonfine sa complaint, we are considering as well the responsive pleadings, and that includes the answer. No? Pagdating ng fourth, the difference, Karen, is under the fourth step, we are supposed to weigh, study, scrutinize, listen, and evaluate the evidence presented by the complainant and the evidence presented by the defense or the respondent before we come up with our decision whether or not may probable cause ba, no? Pagdating naman ng probable cause at may, in the affirmative ang naging decision, that's where the transmittal will happen and the full-blown trial or the trial, the real trial will happen, no? Again, I do not want to be misquoted again. What's happening in the Justice Committee is a akin to preliminary investigation. Perhaps the proper term is hearing proper.
Binago mo na. Hindi, mini-trial tayo dyan.
Kasi yun ang ginamit na term sa rules. At yung, to your question, Karen, bakit pa kayo mag-hearing proper? Bakit hindi pa dalhin nyo na lang doon sa Senate? Total, may sufficiency na in form, in substance, and in ground. Eh, paano yung rules? What if we accused of violating the rules?
Sino?
Diba?
Sino magbabiolate ng rules? Kayo? Wala naman. Wala na yun. Wala nang yan. Nabigyan nyo na ng pagkakataon. Magka-checklist na kasi kayo. Checklist. O, binigyan natin pagkakataon. Check. Binigyan ng kopyang VP Sara. Check. O, ganito ganyan. Check. Ngayon na-check na lahat yon. Last hearing nyo, sabihin nyo, eto, na-check na namin lahat O para sa Korte Suprema, okay na kami. Clear na kami sa lahat ng binigay nyo sa amin na listahan para sundin para itong ginagawa namin na to ay naaayon sa batas. Nagka-checklist kayo, okay na lahat. O punta na kayo sa plenaryo, magburtuhan na tayo. Wala na marami.
That's one. Ang liwanag sa rules, conduct hearing proper. And if we skip this process, definitely, we are a perfect subject matter of another petition to the Supreme Court. Diba?
Okay. So,
pangalawa, I just want to re-echo what the justice members are saying. We are mandated to determine probable cause. How do we do this kung walang hearing proper? How do we do this kung walang presentation of evidence? How do we do this if we will not examine the evidence of both parties? And remember, this subpoena is also provided in the rules of impeachment. That's part of the compulsory process of the Justice Committee.
Okay, all right. So you've made that quite clear. Now, I have a question with what you've said. You've said that once the House Justice Committee makes a decision, if there's probable cause, it's transmitted to the Senate. Does that mean that with this process, hindi na ito dadalhin sa plenaryo tapos may 1/3 vote? Or
Dadaan.
Dadaan pa rin.
Of course, sa plenary. Okay. So,
dadaan pa
this
rin.
is what's gonna happen. No? After the hearing proper, the Justice members will vote whether or not there is probable cause. The required number of vote is majority of all members. Hindi majority ng present, majority of all members. That is different from simple majority. Now, if the vote is in the affirmative, we will be preparing a resolution. Attached is an articles of impeachment, which we will, along with the committee report, all of them together will be transmitted to the plenary. I will be reading the report. I will be defending the decision of the Justice Committee. Tapos, perhaps there will be some question and answer that will happen in the plenary until the members of the House vote on the approval or non-approval of the committee report along with the resolution and the articles of impeachment. But the thing is, the required number of vote is at least 1/3, no? I lost count kung ilan na kami, pero I've been hearing 106 daw ang 1/3. So perhaps we have 308, we are 380 now in number, no? So ano bang consequence? Pag hindi mo na-achieve yung 1/3 vote, at ang committee report mo is existence of probable cause, that is tantamount to dismissal. Pero pag na-achieve mo ang one-third vote doon sa committee report about the existence of probable cause, it means that the articles of impeachment will be immediately transmitted to the Senate for trial.
So technically speaking, I mean, this is both a legal and a political exercise. We know that, right?
Precisely, Karen.
Yes, but at the end of the day, I think you and I admit that to send this to the Senate is a numbers game. It's a numbers game.
Okay.
Because you may find probable cause, but then hypothetically, if times were different and it was a Duterte-supported House, then it may be dismissed. Kahit na may probable cause, they can vote not to send it. But if hindi, without reading it, they can also say, let's send it. Kasi one-third is very small. That's not a
Correct.
lot. That's not majority.
Correct.
So I think we agree on that this is political too at the end of the day, that it's a numbers game. So my next question is, can the House, because technically you are already gathering evidence. That's what you're doing. Nagsasabi na kayo, you asked for the video, which of course we've all seen, right? Let's say they ask, what was the motive? Is that allowed? Let's say, what was the motive of the Vice President in threatening, but niya nasabi yun, etc. She is not there. She won't be there. What happens with that video that nasabi na niyo, that's actually all over? Do the House Justice Committee members say, that constitutes as a ground, that constitutes as evidence, because I'm curious, what power do they have, really?
So it is on the last step on the preparation of the articles of impeachment, where we are supposed to consider the evidence which will be provided for the purpose of transmitting the same to the Senate or supporting the articles of impeachment. And it will happen only after the entire hearing proper, no? Kasi after the determination of probable cause, the Justice Committee now has a stand.
Okay.
We will be standing to defend the articles of impeachment. That's the thing, no? But prior to the determination of probable cause, Karen, we are investigators. We are trying to raise searching questions and clarificatory questions. Let us not use other term. Clarificatory questions which will eventually guide us. May basis ba for us to proceed to trial? No? Ngayon, to be very clear, wala pang stand ang Justice Committee. But once we are done with the voting on the probable cause and we voted in the affirmative, then I can say that the Justice Committee's stand is on the existence of probable cause and we will be supporting the articles of impeachment.
Okay, so now the committee members are investigators, but there is a big possibility that one day they will be prosecutors. So they take on different roles. You have some representatives who are also complainants, right? Of the Vice President. I believe, tama po, di ba, si Representative Laila De Lima.
She's an endorser.
Oh, she's an
Endorser of the complaint.
Oo.
Yeah.
Si Shell Diokno po is an endorser or
No.
complainant?
No, he is a justice member.
Okay. And what about Representative Tino?
Tino is a justice member.
Okay.
Ex officio member.
Ayun na nga mga kababayan, dito na una tatapusin ang ating reaction video dito sa itong interview na to ni Bacolao dito kay Karen Davila. Ang bottom line dito, pinanghihimasukan na ho nila yung mga bagay-bagay na hindi naman dapat nila ginagawa dyan sa Justice Committee. Maraming salamat to, mag-ingat po kayo lahat. Mahal natin Pilipinas.